What's going on, guys? Flyby Simulations here, and welcome to the first full flight video on the Flyby Simulations channel, where we're going to be taking this Iberia 3108 aircraft all the way from what looks to be a very rainy Madrid at the moment, Madrid Barajas International Airport, all the way to Lisbon in Portugal. So, so I just concluded the aircraft dissected series on the channel, so go check that out if you haven't already. It's basically a detailed, deep dive into every single system and function of the Boeing 737 series of aircraft, and I basically look at every single panel and switch in the aircraft to be able to decipher how to use it, and we also complete a full flight in that aircraft. So it's a fantastic series, got a lot of support from it. The second iteration of that series on the A320 is coming very soon. However, in the meantime, I decided that I don't just want to post like tutorials and, like very structured content on the channel, which requires a lot of scripting. I also want to be able to show my personality as a YouTuber or as a content creator on this channel. And that's why I've decided to start this sort of full flight series that I see a lot of flight simulation YouTubers doing. And I decided that what best way to start the series than to do a flight in the latest and greatest Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. So, so we are in the A320 Neo X mod by FlybyWire Simulations. I'll be very honest with you guys, I haven't really flown the A320 in this simulator yet. So I've flown the A320, the stable version that comes with the simulator, the stock version. However, I haven't really flown the mod itself, so I've been told that there's a lot of modifications and stuff. And when I actually started to play around with the regular stock vanilla A320 that was supplied with the simulator, I didn't really enjoy it too much because I thought it lacked a lot of functionality. And I know that the job of Asobo Studio and Microsoft is to basically provide a platform for other third-party developers to create their aircraft. But at the same time, I would have liked to see something a little bit more. It's one of the it's still very good. But yeah, I would have liked to see a little bit more. But I guess this freeware sort of project by Fly-by-Wire Simulations has really created a fantastic platform for like an open SDK tool to be able to mod the hell out of this aircraft and basically make it flyable and eventually to a Zibo-like state where mostly every switch is simulated and the code is written primarily by the individual developers themselves. So, long story short, this is a series I plan to do on my channel. During the weekends, I'll probably upload one aircraft dissected video per week where we literally look at we do a deep dive into every single system. But during the week, maybe one or two such full flight videos that don't really take a lot of editing and sort of scripting on my end, but it does feed some content into the channel so that people can stay on and enjoy some of the other content that this channel has to offer. So with all of that rambling done, let's jump into the flight deck and see what we have going on here. So, flight deck is very rainy, as you guys can see. Not the best kind of weather we have going on here. Actually, you know what? I need to set to live weather back because I actually turned off live weather because there was a thunderstorm going on here and the thunder was literally drowning out my voice during the intro. So I can set live weather now. The time of day is 8:32 a.m. We don't want it to be 8:32. We want it to be around 8 a.m. So this is a real flight. I only do real flights on this channel. And that's the thunder I was talking about. So we'll go ahead and start up the external power. First things first. So let's go ahead. I don't know what's happened to my zoom here. I'm not able to zoom. So maybe now. There we go. External power can come on. Okay, so the sounds have been improved, first of all. There's the circulation fans coming on. Perfect. The batteries can come on, and let's get some lighting in here. There we go. And the dome light can come to dim. There we go. Now we have a little bit of visibility. Oh wow, a lot of things have been changed here. So I guess the self-testing screens are working as intended. So I guess they've also fixed the IRS alignment. There we go. The IRS sort of systems are functional. So I didn't really know that. And that's really good. Okay, so I don't want to be rambling too much, so let's just get on to actually starting up the aircraft. So what do we have here? Let's go ahead and give the cockpit ventilation to the normal mode here. We don't want it to be too cold or too hot to begin with. External power is on. Let's get the nav and logo light on. That is simulated. I've heard that the no smoking and seatbelt signs are simulated. Wow, the chimes are also there. That's fantastic. Emergency exit light to arm. Okay, now this mod really adds some functionality now, which is great. Crew supply can come on. I don't know if we want to get the fuel pumps on already, so let's get the IRS systems to align. There we go. Number 2, number 3 can come on. And let's get some lighting in the front panels as well. So let's get the integrity lights going here. Wow. Has the lighting also been changed? I think the lighting's also been changed. Yeah, this looks different. How about the floodlights? Oh yeah, definitely. These lights look way more saturated and real. Yeah, that looks fantastic. Look at that. Look at that. That looks absolutely great. Okay, so I'm super excited about this. I didn't really know this much functionality was added. I'm pretty happy about that. So let's get some backlighting there as well. Let's brighten up these displays a little bit too. So the nav display can come on. That display can come on. What's interesting here, I think, is that yeah, the the displays themselves can both be brightened and dimmed individually, but the functionality isn't there, so you can't access both of them individually, but you can sort of adjust the brightness on them individually, so that's pretty cool. That needs to be that functionality still needs to be added, but that's fine. There we go. We can add some display over there, and let's get into programming the MCDU. So I guess the IRS systems are functioning, so which means we can go ahead and input some information. So we're taking off from Lima Echo Mike Delta, and we're going to be taking this all the way to Lima Papa Tango, which happens to be Lisbon, Portugal. And I'm super excited. I've never really been there in real life. IRS init. This works. I'll align on reference, and let's confirm the alignment. And I'm pretty sure that's going to actually take time. There we go. Iris alignment in 6 minutes. Okay, I'm pretty excited about this. I don't know when I'm going to stop saying that, but I'm pretty excited that so much functionality has been added. Okay, so IBE 3108 is already set. Cost index. Now, I have my cost index set in the SimBrief flight plan over here. So let's go up here. Cost index is right here. So cost index is going to be 8. And our cruising flight at level is going to be 350. So we don't really have any step climbs. It's a pretty short flight. I think it's about 1 hour and 30 minutes in total. So flight level 350 is set. Do we have any alternate routes? Let's check. Alternate routes should be down here. Lima Echo Zulu Lima. That's the alternate. So let's see if that is in the database. Yes, it is. Perfect. What else do we have? Does the wind system works? I highly doubt it. Yeah, the wind just is there. It doesn't really work. So 350, negative 51 degrees, all of that is good. Let's get some fuel in here. So I know that you go into this menu in fuel. So I have done my research. It's just that I haven't flown too much in the simulator yet. So I have done my research. I'm going to set this to pounds because apparently Microsoft Flight Simulator doesn't realize that most of the world uses metric systems. So it's only given us the option of using gallons versus pounds, which is rather surprising, I should say. But it's okay. We'll work with what we've got. Our fuel for today is going to be 13,928 pounds, so around about 14 tons. 14,000 tons would imply metric. So this is the fuel, and we can look down there as the fuel moves. So 19,000, 17,000, maybe 30? Yeah, let's carry a little bit extra just in case. And the payload can be found down here as usual. 39.3, so let's go ahead and adjust the payload here. And maybe 56, 57, there we go, 39.7, that's good enough. Okay, so now we need to be able to input the zero fuel weight CG. Now, I don't know if I have to input that myself. Maybe you can see the zero fuel weight here. You have the empty weight, which I doubt is the zero fuel weight. No, that can't be the zero fuel weight. I think this might work with line select. Oh, there we go, 50.2, 21.6. Yeah, this works. And the block fuel. Now, the block fuel, I've heard from the research I've done, you have to look at the actual fuel on board, which is represented in kg. So this is very weird. The actual fuel inside the aircraft is represented in kilograms, which is metrics, but the actual fuel programming that you need to do using the fuel window in the simulator itself is done using imperial units. So that's kind of surprising, but that's going to be around 6.4 tons of fuel. So 6.4 can be entered in there. There we go. Perfect. And now let's start entering our flight plan. So Lima Echo Mike Delta is where we're departing from. So departure. Departing runway is going to be 14 right. And our departing SID is going to be the Charlie Charlie Sierra 1 Sierra, CCS 1 Sierra departure. And I don't really think there's a transition here. Yeah, there isn't. So let's just go and insert that. And I don't know. This is fantastic. They've added a lot of functionality to this. I mean, I'm pretty sure this information was still there, but I doubt if there was, you could input fix information or, you know, hold information or alternate information and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. Airways. So let's just go and have a look at our route in SimBrief real quick. So after CCS, we're doing a direct to LVAR. So let's go direct to Echo Lima Victor Alpha Romeo. There we go. LVAR is set. And then we're going direct to IDBID. So India Delta Bravo India Delta. There we go. That lightning is actually crazy. I get scared every time it comes on. Looks like my sim is about to crash or something. And then it's pretty much a standard arrival. So standard terminal arrival into Lisbon in Portugal. So let's select arrival, and the runway is going to be 21, so let's do an ILS 21 arrival, and it's going to be the IDBID 7 Bravo arrival. So IDBID 7 Bravo is selected, and let's go ahead and insert that information. And I don't know if they've simulated discontinuities or vectors or something. I'm pretty sure there's no vectors in Airbuses. That's only a Boeing thing. But yeah, there's no discontinuities. We're pretty much good to go. And the only thing we have left to enter is our perf information. So, can I line select this? 114 seems a little bit low, doesn't it? I think I'm just going to use my AppSoft Toolbox trusty little performance calculator. So I'm just going to open that up real quick and use that information in here. In the meantime, we can go up to the overhead panel and start up the auxiliary power unit, aka APU. And I've also seen that they've added a few pages on here. So there we go. It automatically switched to the APU page. And technically, if they've simulated this, there should be a flap open indication, signifying that the physical flap at the back of the aircraft is open to let the air in to be able to start the aircraft. There we go. Flap open. I have no words. This really makes most of the flying in the sim actually possible with airliners. I've also heard that there's other projects and other teams working on the 747-8 Intercontinental, as well as the 787-10, and trying to get that up to this similar level of quality that this Airbus is being worked on. So that's pretty impressive, and that's pretty exciting as well. Yeah, so let's go to AppSoft, and let's go to a generic A320 model. Select takeoff, and our departure airport is going to be Lima Echo Mike Delta, and our runway is going to be 14 right. Sorry, wrong runway. 14 right. There we go. And weather data can be calculated by NOAA weather. And our predicted takeoff weight we might need to calculate ourselves. So I'm pretty sure I saw this, and this just basically requires some basic mathematics. So our total takeoff weight is going to be 144,195. So I'm just going to enter that in a calculator. 144,195 minus our fuel weight is 14068, and it's kind of decreasing because the APU is starting to gurgle on it. So 130127 is our predicted takeoff weight. So let's just go ahead and enter it into a normal calculator. So pounds to kg, let's go ahead and enter 130127, and that gives us a predicted takeoff weight of 59,024 kilograms. And let's go and enter that in here, and let's say calculate. That should give us all of our takeoff performance values. There we go. We have a config 2 takeoff and a config 1 takeoff. I'm going to do the config 2 just for funsies. Our flex temperature is going to be 75 degrees, V1 141, VR 142, and V2 is going to be 142 as well. So those are more sort of believable values. Yes, I do really want to exit, and we can go ahead and plug that stuff in here as well. So 141, 142, 142. There we go. And transition altitude we'll come back to in a second. I'm pretty sure that's 13,000 feet. We'll double check that just to be sure in a second by looking at the charts. Flaps are going to be 2, and well, the CG hasn't really been provided, so I'm just going to go down 0.0. No trim. And flex temperature is going to be 75 degrees, as mentioned before. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of our MCDU programming for the flight. Now, the APU should be up and running here, and I guess the clouds have all disappeared, or we have a few clouds, but we have the sunrise happening at around 8:24 in the morning, or 8:30 or something, so we're pretty close to sunrise. Our departure time is supposed to be around 8:33 a.m., so we're doing pretty good. We still have 15 minutes to get everything underway for departure from the gate. What else can we do here? So, let's go ahead and start the APU bleed. That should start... you can hear the bleed air coming in. There we go. And, oh yeah, let's go ahead and enter some QNH information. So, I have the METAR here. Let's refresh the page. It's going to be 1019 millibars. So, let's switch to hectopascals, since we're in Europe. And 1019 should be synced across both sides. Yes, it is. We can come down here and also set 1019 here on the standby display. There we go. That's set. Can get the flight directors to come on this side. I don't know if that's synced. That's not synced. So they've added flight director support on both sides, which is impressive. Get constraints on my side, airport on their side. And yeah, let's get the initial climb in. So let's go look at the charts. I'm going to enable moving maps here to see where we are. And 14 right is practically just behind us right there. So we're here. We're going to do a tail right, nose left pushback, and then straight up go take this taxiway and get right onto 14 right. Should be a pretty easy taxi. Yeah, so our standard instrument departure, I've already loaded it in, CCS1. Transition altitude is 13,000 feet, so that's what we entered was right. And I'm going to look for some initial climb current. Okay, maintain 13,000 feet. So let's go ahead and enter 13,000 feet in here as an initial climb. And we're pretty much good to go in that department. Everything looks good. Let's go ahead and enter our squawk code as 2000, just to be in a good habit of having Unicom dialed in there. And there's nothing really much to do. Let's go and get the seatbelt signs on to get the people to sit down. And pushback. So pushback, I'm pretty sure we need to dial in the frequency for ground. So Barajas ground is on 123.475. So let's see if we can get that in here. 123.475. There we go. Let's dial that in. And ground services. And let's request pushback.
Barajas ground, Iberia 3108, India Bravo Echo Tree 108, requesting pushback.
Iberia 3108, India Bravo Echo Tree 108, pushback request accepted.
There we go. Pushback has been accepted. So let's go ahead and start the beacon light to let the ground crew know that the engine's about to be started. Let's also get the fuel pumps up and running. There we go. And the external power can come off because we no longer need it. We are completely on APU power. Let's get the dome light off. We don't really need it. And yeah, I think the jetway is connecting to the aircraft as we speak. Now, okay, the jetway has started to push us back, so I guess we need to go release the parking brake, and let's also start the engine number 2 on the push. So we can go to this menu and ask the pushback tug to steer. So if the pushback tug itself steers to the right, then that's going to push us back like that, so nose right. So I'm going to ask it to steer us to the right momentarily. But yeah, I would love to see like a better pushback plugin or something like that in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, because quite honestly, this pushback system is not very sophisticated, especially if you're coming from X-Plane 11.
India Bravo Echo Tree 108, requesting pushback tug to steer the aircraft to the right.
I hope this is the right direction. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Okay, I'm happy.
Iberia 3108, India Bravo Echo Tree 108, your request has been transmitted to the operator.
Where is the thunder coming from? There's not even any rain at the moment. I guess that's just a bug in the simulator, if I'm not mistaken. There we go. Engine number 2 is coming on. Should be able to hear that. I don't know what texture issue is happening over there with the shadows. It's alright. It's going to get sorted in a bit. Look at that lightning. That's insane. There's nothing even there. or maybe a few clouds over there, but I doubt it's really that bad. Okay, let's ask the pushback tug to stop.
Barajas ground, Iberia 3108, India Bravo Echo Tree 108, requesting the end of pushback.
Let's also go ahead and start the other engine.
India Bravo Echo Tree 108, request to end pushback received.
Okay, so yeah, another thing with the pushback thing, if you press stop pushback, it's gonna, there's like a massive delay between when the auto-generated voice in the simulator says stop pushback and that's when the actual pushback stops. So you need to actually call that early. You have to say like stop the pushback like 2 seconds before you actually want to stop it. So yeah, there's a few little quirks in the simulator that I would like to be fixed, but that's all right. We can live with those. Engine number 1 is firing up as we speak. N1 is rising. EGT is getting up there. N2 is also rising. Everything's in the normal range, and we're looking good. Everything's pretty much set. We can also arm the auto throttle as we speak, so just to not be able to forget that later on during the flight. We can get terrain on ND on the right side, and we can get the weather right on our side as we get closer to the runway. We don't really want to give the ground personnel around us cancer, because that's what the weather radar does. At least that's what I've heard. Actually, no, I know that's what it does. Okay, so 19.6% N1 has been set. We can get the mode to normal, and we can get the flaps to flaps position 2. And as we do that, we can also do a flight control check. I don't know if that has been simulated. Yes, it has. Wow, okay. So flight full up, full down, ailerons left, ailerons right. We can get the rudder all the way to the left and all the way to the right. There we go. Flight control check completed. The flaps are down and sunrise is happening in the distance. We can lock the door. We should have done that a little bit earlier. Arm the spoilers and let's get the transponder on. We'll set it to TARA as we approach the runway. Let's get the taxi light on. Strobe light can come to auto. And let's start rolling on the runway. We can actually also go ahead and disable the APU. We don't really need it anymore. And let's disable the parking brake. Actually, no. Now, it was already disabled. So, let's give the aircraft some power. Now, I know the Airbus A320 in the simulator is very power hungry. That's something I've noticed while flying this aircraft. At least the first time I flew the base version. So, yeah, it looks to be that hasn't necessarily been fixed. And that lightning really needs to get fixed in some update, because I literally see clear skies. I mean, I can literally see stars in the distance, and if I'm seeing lightning in the same frame, that shouldn't really be happening. There's very rare circumstances where that would happen in real life, so... And I'm pretty sure... Are there some clouds here? Or is it just me? You guys let me know in the comment section. Do you guys see anything in here? I mean, when the lightning actually strikes, I'm seeing the silhouette of some clouds, and we're also getting some rain on the windshield. So maybe the cloud rendering is kind of just iffy. That's all right. Okay, so let's go into the airport chart here. And let's see. So let's go all the way straight and take a left on Juliet 3, and then onto Juliet 2, and then Lima Bravo, Lima Alpha, and enter the runway there. So the taxiways are all different in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. It's not accurate, so we're just going to follow basic guidelines. So there is definitely some lightning and thunder happening in the distance. That's all right. I think the thing ends here, so let's take a left. And then let's take another right here. There we go. But the colors and the sky colors and the cloud textures and everything looks absolutely fantastic. I mean, I wish the other simulators could emulate this, but then again, this wouldn't be next generation if every simulator could do what this simulator is doing. So I'm happy. Competition's always good in the market. What else do we have? We can arm the auto brake, but oh yeah, they've also simulated the ECAM. So the upper ECAM is showing us messages that we need to get to in order to be ready for takeoff. So we have oh wow, we just ran over a car. So okay, some AI stuff needs to be fixed as well. I'm basically on the same journey you guys are if you're exploring the simulator for the first time with me. There's a lot of stuff that I just didn't know before. And I'm getting to know now. So there's auto brake max, which we need to dial. So let's go ahead and set auto brake max. Cabin check and takeoff config. So we can test takeoff config here. Takeoff is normal, which is good. We're pretty much ready to go. And cabin check. So do these work? Yes, it does. There's a chime too. Great.
Cabin crew seats for takeoff.
Oh. Okay. Well, didn't know that. They have added voice announcements in. This mod just continues to surprise me as we go along. And these wispy little clouds in the distance, as well as the rain effects on the windshield, are really adding to the entire immersion experience right now. This looks fantastic. I'm actually going to take a screenshot of that as we speak. There we go. And what the wing view looks like. Nice. We have some cargo containers over there on the right. Probably some secret business. And of course, the thunder is relentless. But yeah, this looks like it's real life. There's no two ways about it. Okay, so Juliet 2, we can take a right here on Mike 13, or we can keep going straight. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna keep going straight, and that should be the runway over there, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not. Let's see. Continue going straight on Lima 2, and then take a right here. Yeah, probably something like that. I don't really know where the runway is. Those words are not very comforting coming from your captain, but it is what it is, guys. Deal with it. Okay, so taking a left turn here, and I think, yeah, this is the runway threshold for 14, right? So yeah, we're doing fine. No panic. There's no need to panic. Okay, I'm looking forward to this departure here, guys. So, as we get onto the runway, let's get the runway turn-off lights on. Practically every single light. So let's get the wing light on, strobe light can go to on, fixed landing lights can come on. Let's chime the cabin one more time, just to be safe. And what is this car doing? I guess that's another car bites the dust. And let's go ahead and stop on the runway and do a standing takeoff. So let's get the view centered here. There we go. Let's stop. And set the parking brake real quick. And yeah, let's also set the TCAS to TARA. Let's get the weather radar on. And what else does the ECAM say here? Predicted wind shear. Is that also? Oh wow, that's also simulated. Okay, another news to me. And auto brake, again, we have to arm it to max. And let's go ahead and release the parking brake, and we're ready for departure. So thrust forward to 50%. Symmetric thrust established. Let's go all the way up to man flex. 75 degrees, SRS runway, and auto thrust is blue. Look at that view in front of us, guys. I'm gonna shut up and let you guys just enjoy this departure real quick. Just 120. V1, rotate. Smooth departure out. We have an immediate left turn. Gear up. Oh yeah, we didn't really ask for any clearance there. Our bad. We're rebels. Alright, left turn. We should be taking a right turn immediately after this as well. So, there we go. There's a right turn happening here. And continue our rate of ascent, I meant. Let's take flap up. And throttle lever climb mode, so bring the thrust levers back to the climb detent. That's gonna pitch the aircraft down so it can gain some speed. There we go. And I really want to look out the window here, so I'm gonna go ahead and arm the autopilot after we take flap up. There we go. Flap up, and let's go ahead and give the controls to autopilot. There we go. Autopilot's gonna manage everything now. As we depart, we're also gonna disarm the spoilers. We no longer need it. Let's get the runway turnoffs off. Nose light can come off. The wing can stay on. Everything else can practically stay on. And yeah, that's a smooth departure out of Lima Echo Mike Delta. Look at that. Look at those paddy fields and stuff. I'm still amazed as to how many petabytes of data are just being streamed into a simulator to be able to give a realistic feel. Yeah, but that looks great. I'm sure this looks even better in a 1440p screen or a 4K screen. But yeah, this is the best we have, and boy oh boy, does it exceed my expectations. Nothing to say. It's absolutely, I'm just speechless. So we're quickly approaching 10,000 feet. The weather radar over here is returning some yellow and green cells, which is fine. We have a few red cells over here, so we have one over here and one over here. We're practically passing in between them, so we're good. Nothing to do there. Look at these orange skies, and there's a thunderstorm right there, so let's see if the weather radars pick that up. Let's try to see if we can increase the range on our display. Oh wow, we have quite a bit of bad weather ahead of us after that Mike Delta 031 waypoint in front of us. So we're going to have to watch out for that. We're approaching 10,000 feet very quickly, so we can go ahead and switch off the wing light and the runway turn off. Actual runway lights. And yeah, we're pretty much good to go. Transition altitude is 13,000 feet, so we still have a little bit of time before we can turn the altimeter setting to standard, so we have time. And the aircraft is again pitching down as we have attained 10,000 feet, so it's going to speed up. That's going to give us an opportunity to be able to look at this right turn. Look at that. Wow. Absolutely splendid. Especially the sunrise departure. I'm sure this looks very good during a daytime departure or nighttime as well, but a sunrise where you get the best of both worlds. You have the sun rising in the distance, you have the sky colors, you have a few night lights down there, you can see a little bit of the terrain and the mesh, and the strobe light in the distance, the PBR on the wings. Oh my god. I literally have no words here. Okay, so let's go dial our altitude back up to our cruising altitude of 350. And let's go open climb. And let's also set the altimeter to standard on the main altimeters as well as the standby. 299 and 2 is set. And after this turn, we're gonna go ahead and release the passengers. They can basically go ahead and use the lavatories and all that stuff. There we go. As we complete that turn, let's go ahead and release the passengers. So seatbelt signs can come off, and we'll also ding the cabin, saying that they can start doing their water service. I guess there's no meal service. It's a very short flight. We're pretty much, as soon as we get to our top of climb, we're going to have to start descending again. Is there any way to reduce the sort of brightness of the weather returns? There's supposed to be two knobs here, right? Yeah, there are. Yeah, but that dims the navigation display. Oh wow, what the hell? Okay, please don't tell me that I broke the navigation display, because that's kind of important. Please come on. That one works. We might need to... Okay, there we go. I was thinking we might have to pull like a pilot incapacitation drill here by moving to the other side and flying the aircraft from the co-pilot seat. Does the back switch work here? Oh yeah, it does. There we go. We can basically dim that all the way down. And now it doesn't look so overwhelming. Perfect. Looks good. So that's pretty much it, guys. I'll let you guys enjoy the climb and the cruise, and I'll meet you before the descent. Hope you guys enjoy.